Hi, a lot of you have messaged me and left comments, whether on Instagram, Telegram channel or YouTube. You've asked me to make a complete beginner's course on Blender for you. In this course, I want to teach you, in a simple and brief way, how to work with Blender software together. Alright, welcome to the complete beginner's tutorial for Blender software. In this session, I want to go over the work expect and work area sections together so you can become fully familiar with these parts. Sometimes when I'm using my mouse, I click on a tool and forget to mention it in my narration. So I've included my mouse panel here for you, so whenever you get stuck, you can look at this and the shortcuts to understand what's happening. Guys, when you open Blender, you're presented with a complete section that we call the Workspace, and this part here is called the default work area. Usually contains one object, one light, and one camera. Alright, so in the object section we're in, there are different axes. The Z axis is from above, X is left to right, and Y can be from the opposite side. So whenever you want to access these axes using the keyboard, you can do that. With this section, you can specify your axis, or you can do it through Viewport. In this section, you can specify whether you want the top view, bottom view, front, back, right, or left, if you want. Look guys, for those of you whose keyboard has a numpad, by pressing the shortcut key 1, it switches to the negative y-axis view. If I press 3, it changes to, if I press 7, it goes to the x-axis view. If I press 9, it goes to the negative z-axis. If I press 4, if I press 6, it rotates the view in the opposite direction. Okay, with the 2 and 8 keys, it smoothly rotates for me. Do you see what I mean? You simply set it up, and that is precisely how it effectively works. This is the section where you can use the shortcut keys. By holding down the mouse, actually if you hold the mouse scroll, you can move all around your subject. For zooming in and zooming out, you can move the mouse scroll. Move it towards zoom in or zoom out, or you can use the keyboard shortcut for zooming in or out, guys. When you are utilizing this zoom tool, you need to continuously keep your finger pressed on the right mouse button so that it smoothly and effectively moves the view. If you want to rotate the angles of your work so it moves in these angles, you can do it by holding the hand tool. In other software, if you hold down the space bar, it rotates, but in Blender, your mouse has to be exactly on the hand tool for it to move. The shortcut key is holding Shift and Space, which lets you do the same thing. Sometimes you might ask, what should I do if I have a graphics tablet? For this, guys, go to the Edit Preferences option. Okay, bring this up and go to the Input tab. Enable the Emulate 3-button mouse option. When you enable this, by holding Alt and right-clicking with your pen, or just moving the pen itself, it will perform the same action. So even if you don't have a scroll wheel or a mouse, you can still work with this method, even if you're using a mouse to work. If your scroll wheel is broken, by holding Alt, you can set and move it as well. Alright, in this section we have a part called Camera. Whenever I click on it, my object is shown to me from the camera angles. If I want to bring it back, it returns. If you press the 0 key on the number pad, it will go back to that same camera view. So, what is this? One part shows it in perspective, and the other part, if you look at it, you'll see the word orthographic written on it. In perspective mode, when I place several objects, it shows their scaling, how they appear larger or smaller in relation to each other. But when I switch to orthographic mode, it shows all the models at the same size. So naturally, usually we should always be in the graphic section so that we can in fact actually be in perspective mode. so we can see our subject in perspective and work on it. Alright, let me say it again. Hold down Shift. You can move with the E key. Space is for zooming in and out. Press camera 0 and then press 0 again. It will be deselected. Whenever you want to select your subject, you can just click on it. Or press A to select it. When I press A, everything gets selected. If you want to select only the subject, just click on it to select it. Guys, the shortcut key for deselecting is actually Alt plus A, and the key for selecting is just A, okay? At some points, you might wonder, what are these useful for? As we go further, for us in the next sections, you'll see that all these shortcut keys help us increase our efficiency. Sometimes they really speed up our work, meaning instead of having to go somewhere to this section or that, with the space key and my mouse, I can easily rotate around the subject. For example, if I have two subjects, now allow me to introduce another new mesh, or alternatively a different object. Okay, when I select this, everything gets selected. But when I select just one of them and want to work on that one, I need to hold my mouse. If you precisely move it while simultaneously holding down the corresponding number key on your keyboard, you will automatically and accurately zoom in directly on that specific object. And then you can conveniently make any necessary changes or adjustments to that particular part of your project. Whenever you don't want it selected anymore, just deselect it. So how can I split my screen into 4 sections like in 3ds, Max Maya or Cinema 4D? In the View menu, in the last section called Area, we activate the toggle option. Here, we split the screen into 4 sections and we can set each one to different movement or rotation angles. For example, I want this one to be from the Z-axis, this one also from the Z-axis, and the other one from the X-axis, and I set them up that way. Well, sometimes this is really useful, but other times it's better to work with just a single view. For you, that same section will play completely. Another way is to bring my mouse next to the edges, right-click, and it asks if you want it to be horizontal or vertical. I say make this part vertical here. Well, I can still change its angles. If I want to come from the bottom, I can say make it horizontal for me. Maybe I'll want that later. I can set this part to UV. Well, of course, we'll get to that. When I say it now, I mean putting it in the UV section. So should I come here, bring my editor's shadings, set it to color, set it to material, and whichever section you need, whenever you don't need it, you can, if the attribute is divided into 2 parts, you can join them this way or whenever you want. You can say, let my main attribute come here, and let my second free attribute be here. By using the swap, these two will switch places. I swap them, and again, it goes back to its place. I join them. Here it joins like this. Well, there's another way too. Instead of right-clicking, I can use that other method to go to my purpose. Here I divide this into 2 parts. Okay, look here. When your mouse is in this state, by holding it, it automatically creates the join icon for you. If I go up again, it creates it here as well. You can see in this part, when my mouse icon is placed here, it comes up again in this section. I join it. Whether you right-click or use this section, you can fully work with this part. Well, with our highly efficient working tools, everything is perfectly clear. And in this section, we've worked completely and thoroughly. So we can now visualize our entire section. It's been decided to do the tutorials in short segments, so you can practice more easily and be completely comfortable with them until the next session and the explanation of other sections. Goodbye. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to me. Don't forget to like and comment.